What's up? It's Rob from FLX Bike with your Babymaker production update of the week. As always, we do have a live this Wednesday at 2 p.m. PST. You know the drill. Please keep an eye out for that so you can ask us questions about the Babymaker. Meet the team. We'll be live there to answer your questions. Today, we do have some factory footage, so please stay tuned to the end or just skip forward if all this other stuff is boring for you to check out that footage. There's been a lot going on this week, so this is a longer update, so thank you for your patience in advance. We did promise we'd share with you guys the challenges, everything going on behind the scenes, so without further ado, let's get right into it. The first challenge is ongoing. It has to do with our bike components being held up by customs in Spain. This is affecting the bikes going to the UK and the EU because without those parts, we cannot build the bikes there in Spain. So this has really been moving at a snail pace compared to what we need to be at. So apologies everybody for the waits you've been having to deal with on that. We have made a little bit of progress this week. Not as much as we'd like to see, but here's what's going on. We did receive an email from our factory contacts there. It says, "Dear Troy, the first truck with 10 Babymaker pallets has arrived. I will keep you informed." And here are some photos, what they sent over. So we've got the truck there with some components arriving. This is the Magura brakes. Got more components here. This is inside their warehouse, and looks like the TRP brakes we've got on top there. I'm hoping we've got some frames in those bigger boxes. However, we have not had confirmation yet on exactly what is there, an exact inventory list. So that's a big gap there where we want to see exactly what the inventory is, exactly what's been delivered so that we can hash out a build plan and figure out, okay, this is what we've got. What can we build with this? What can we get out the door and get to our waiting customers? So the communication between us and Spain is clearly not cutting it. The Zoom, emails, it's not sufficient. We're not getting all the information we need, super valuable information to be able to control production and pass that on to you. So to resolve that, the past couple of weeks, we have been hiring a Spain representative, interviewing candidates. We finally come across the right guy. He's actually got experience in the bike industry and he's super pumped about the opportunity. He is starting this Wednesday, which is either today or tomorrow, depending on when you watch this video. He will be at the factory to get a handle on things. I thought you guys might want to see who it is too. So here he is. Meet Franco, FLX's newest representative in Spain.
We're very excited to get your help at the factory in Spain.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready to start.
So one quick thing, this was an hour-long strategy session between Franco, Dwayne, our COO, Troy, supply chain manager, and myself with Franco. So we are gonna jump around a little bit here, basically just chat a little bit about the objectives and Franco's past experience. So apologies in advance if it's not super coherent, but some interesting tidbits in here if you guys want to check them out.
I made the sales, but also, we had to go to fairs, to shows. I had to do the after service, which is very important for the customers. And yeah, mainly doing all the paperwork and we were 3 or 4 in the group, so we done mainly everything, from the mechanics. We also learned how to mount the bikes, the parts, everything. So yeah, it was interesting because I learned a lot from different aspects of the company, marketing, sales, from the factory. So yeah, that's mainly a summary of what I did. Yeah. For example, the way that we done it in our previous factory, we had like a checklist. So they make sure you have everything on the box when they have to send it, and you double check the things in the bag. So just to make it easier for them, because sometimes, if they don't do it a lot, they get mixed up or they send one wrong bike or, so yeah. But yeah, we can work on that. That's no problem.
Great.
Of course.
So how does the double check work? Can you explain that to us? How did you implement that?
I made, in Excel, like a simple sheet with all the parts that go in the box. First of all, we divided it in different parts. The chassis, the handlebars, and the gadgets, then the color. So we had like divided up in little departments. You check it on the bike first of all, and then once you put it in the box, you check it again. So it's just like a simple double check that we made for the employers to do their job.
If you get resistance with Carlos, you just need to communicate to them that you are the eyes and ears for the business,
Okay.
right? And that you have pressure points with management back in the States, and you have deliverables. So the way you get those deliverables is you guys have to work together.
We actually have two distributors. We have one in the Netherlands, we have one in the UK, and we have builds for both of them, and they kind of go one and then the other type of thing. But I have a build plan, so we want to make sure that they're building at a rate, on a daily rate that we get the bikes out. So nothing you're going to be unfamiliar with. I'll put together a spreadsheet for you, kind of a daily tracking kind of thing. And if you're not in the plant one day, hopefully you make good acquaintances with someone who can provide you that information if you're not on site, so that we kind of keep track, and know exactly where we're at with production at all times.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Franco, do you mind giving us just a quick summary of the objectives that you've written down?
Mainly, just to get to know the people, to go in with a smile, to make a good impression, to meet everyone there, Carlos, to get involved and to see what they're doing, the inventory, to discuss the call with the delay of the container, to get in that call to see what's happening, make the videos, the footage.
All right, Franco, great chatting with you. It sounds like you have everything you need to blow this out of the water and do a great job.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do it together, and get the bikes out to the customer, which is the most important.
Totally.
Okay.
Awesome, Franco.
Okay.
Thank you. Looking forward to your report tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
No problem. Okay. Thank you
Take
very
care,
much.
brother. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, that is Franco. We're super excited to have him on board. So with his help, we're going to be providing you guys better updates and, more importantly, make more progress there in Spain. He's going to help out wherever it is needed to run documents, to go to customs, to get things done, and just add some pressure to make sure the bikes get built and out to you as soon as humanly possible. So for the folks in the UK and the EU, I know this may be a disappointing update, and we're in the same exact boat. Tears my heart out that no bikes have moved there in such a long period, and we keep, almost getting the runaround with customs here. So now that we've got somebody on the ground there who reports to us, we're going to be having the most accurate information coming out, some extra pressure to get the job done and get you these bikes. The next challenge is in Canada. We moved over 1,000 bikes from our LA facility in the past couple of weeks here. About half of those to the US, half of those to Canada. Out of those, 4 bikes were mislabeled by the fulfillment center, so they did go to the wrong people in Canada. So Troy is working on sorting that out, but if you're one of those 4 people, apologies for that. We're going to fix it. So either get the bike back or contact you, work out a solution. So keep an eye out if you did receive the wrong bike in Canada. And if you have not received the bike yet, or you've received it and haven't opened it, please check on the box. There is a barcode. It's also marked with exactly what it is. Please read that. Make sure it matches what you've ordered before you open the box. If it doesn't match, reach out to our support team, support@flx.bike, so that we can sort that out before the box is open. Because after it's open, it becomes much harder to move them back around or send it on to the correct owner. Again, that is a very rare issue. This one was 4 out of 1,000. So that's 0.4%, much higher than we want it to be, but it's not a widespread issue. Okay, the next thing, an update on the Sterling dropper hoods, which was an ongoing challenge where we had the blemish, needed to rework them. We have received confirmation from our factory that Sterling dropper bikes will be on our C18 container, which is the next container going out from our first production facility in China. So they're very confident that Sterling bikes will be back in the mix and into our shipping and allocation containers, so that the folks waiting on those bikes, you'll start seeing shipping notifications for those very soon once that next container goes out. So good news there. All right, so the next challenge has to do with the pedals on the Babymaker. We've received a couple limited reports of this. Folks, it sounds like putting the pedals on either on the wrong side or just putting them in by hand and not tightening them with the included tool, which can lead to the pedals stripping out the crank and eventually falling out and not working. So it's so important that you do follow the instructions in the assembly video and the manual to a T, especially when installing the pedals if you want them to work properly. The most important part with the pedals is there is a left and a right pedal. The right pedal is threaded normally and the left pedal has a reverse thread. And fun fact, that's actually an invention from the Wright brothers, the guys who built the first airplane in the US. Super exciting for the aviation nerds out there. The right one, you can just screw it in normally as you would a light bulb or anything like that. The left pedal, you screw it into the left. So the way I remember it is that the right one is correct. It's right to the right. The left one goes to the left. Very simple, right? And the direction is when you're on the bike, sitting on the bike, this is the right one, this is the left one. That's how we talk about it. So the next thing, when you do put it in, you do need to use the tool to tighten it all the way. If you just do it by hand, sometimes that's just not quite enough force to get it in there, and you can get a little bit of movement on this pedal, which will cause it to wear down either the crank or the pedal thread. So just doing it by hand, not enough. Make sure you get the tool on it and tighten that up. You want a good amount of force, but not so much that you're going to break either one. So the left one, if you try and force it in and turn it to the right, it's gonna mess it up. It's not gonna work. Nobody's gonna have fun here and you'll break the crank. So make sure to turn it to the left. And when you put these in, don't force it. There's no need to force it. Just kind of play with it, wiggle it around until it slides in very easily. It should go in easily. Turn that in. We're turning the left one to the left again. And it's not enough to do it by hand. Get the tool on there. And it's tight and ready to go. So that should completely alleviate any issues you have with the pedal or the crank stripping right there. All right, that is it for the challenges of the week. And just in other news, the low volume locations, we do have a build plan for those in with our factory number 1 in China. So they continue work on that. And we should have some news for you guys about the first ones that are moving here very shortly. Next, we do have 2 containers clearing customs in the US this week. So those should be delivered to our fulfillment centers very soon. That's another 400 or so bikes going out here in the US, possibly some to Canada as well. I'll let Troy expand on that in our live, which is on YouTube this Wednesday at 2 p.m. And we do have about 1,000 bikes set to leave our second facility in China in the next coming weeks here. So a lot of bikes will be moving here very shortly. Very excited about that. I mentioned that we do have some factory footage for you, so let's get right into that. This footage is from our original factory, facility number 1 in China, which is doing the majority of the Babymaker orders. So first thing here, just some wheels with the motors ready to go. The wheels, they are all built at the factory. So we get the rim, the spokes, the motor, and put them all together, partly by hand, partly by machine as well. That is a lot of wheels. We've got the Sterling wheels with motors there as well, and a cool little conveyor system running the wheels, because there's a lot of wheels to go through. Hundreds and hundreds of wheels right there. This kind of a hybrid human and machine combo, putting the tire on the wheel itself. That's clearly a Sterling wheel, the rim there with the tan tire. After putting that tire on, it is checked to make sure everything is even, that nothing is outside of that bead, because if it is, it's liable to have an issue when you're actually riding it. So super important part here, air is added to them and the cap is installed again. All right, here's some more wheels, and you can check out, look at the size of the hole in that hub. That's for the through axle. We did upgrade all the bikes. This was an extra cost to us to a through axle after the first 1,000 or so bikes. So some folks have been asking why some bikes have a through axle, some have the quick release skewer, the standard skewer. They're both quick release, by the way. What we upgraded to is a quick release through axle. So it is a quick release. The original ones you had to torque down with a wrench. This one It's just the lever, pull that, unscrew it, pull it out. Does add more stability, a tighter ride. It is a bit nicer. It also lines that disc brake up very nicely. So for the folks who have not got their bikes yet, or they're a little bit later in line, congratulations, you get a free upgrade on that. Just a little silver lining for you. And before I put my foot in my mouth, that through axle does not apply to the first bikes in Europe, which many of those still have not shipped just because the components for those shipped such a long time ago. So sorry guys, we're not purposely giving you the short end of the stick there. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's when we sent the components. That's what's there. So here we actually have some fully assembled bikes. This is a Babymaker Pro with bullhorn bars. A few of those there. Got more of these coming down the line. We should see those Sterlings with droppers very soon here. Oh, and those are some colorful bikes. We've got more, looks like Babymaker Pros. Again, Babymaker Pros represented the majority of our orders. So standard bikes, they are being built as well, absolutely. Wow, look at that view. And even more bikes here. We've got some berries, Sterling, tangerine, matte black. Looks like we're doing some QC in here. So moving on from that, what they're also working on at this facility, number one, in China, this is the box for the touring package. Some neat little packaging there. We fit the rack, the fenders, the smartphone mount, and the lights. They all go in this box, neatly packed in there. Because there were so many bike orders to fulfill and some slowdowns there, we really decided to focus on building and shipping as many bikes as possible first, and in the meantime, when we can, work on these touring packages. So if you've got your bike already, I hope you're stoked to have received it. There are a lot of folks who haven't even received a bike yet. We are focusing on bikes, but touring packages are also going out in the meantime to folks who have already received their bikes and ordered a touring package. So this is the nice little Babymaker box. We got the image of the Babymaker, the graphic there, and exactly which model it fits. Here is more work being done for those touring packages. All right, that is all the footage I've got from the factory for you guys today. Hopefully I'll have some footage from our Spanish facility in the next update, so please stay tuned to that. I'm praying, guys, absolutely praying and hoping for nothing but good news from that facility. The entire team here, we're at our wits' end with customs there. So again, apologies, massive apologies for the delays with that. It was unforeseen by us. We could have certainly done better if we had a representative out there to begin with. Had we known, we'd encounter these issues repeatedly. So apologies for that. We're on top of it. Franco's out there on the double. Wish him nothing but good luck and Godspeed there at the Spanish facility. We'll keep you posted on that. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the updates. Like, comment, good or bad. We appreciate your feedback, and we'll see you in the next one.